Mike, you sent me this because we were talking about Doug Benson. And what is... Okay, first off, what is this? This is a Rorschach test for stoners featuring Doug Benson?
Yes. And this...
Hold on. This is Comedy Central, right? Is that what I'm reading correctly?
Yes.
It's Comedy Central...
But not Comedy Central's official. It's their secondary site, Comedy Central Originals. It's like a YouTube channel. This is YouTube exclusive Comedy Central content.
Okay, so it's
another network trying to
hop on
never
the
get
bandwagon.
demonetized or censored in any way.
So this video, now you would think though it's Comedy Central, it's still pulling some fucking number. You could tell it's not big either because they don't even have the subscriber count.
Nope. And
this video's been up since August 29th. It only has
6 days.
4,600 views.
Yep. So,
but Doug Benson's a big name. Why isn't it pulling in the views?
So,
I get it. Weed.
Yeah, Shenks for smoking. See, get it? Because it's Sara Weinshenk. She's
Irish name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not enough Irish people in Hollywood.
Of the County Cork Weinshanks.
Of course, yeah.
Sara Weinshenk is a Jewish lady, comedian.
Okay.
Comedian, I believe.
Comedian.
Is, who was trolled once. Remember when I told you that I saw a clip in a Facebook group, I think it might have been the Red Bar people, where somebody was trolling her and they said, "Wow, Sarah, you look very Jewish today," and she just shut down.
Oh, really? She freaked out.
She was pissed, like not like yelling, but like really like, "Wow, okay, I don't know what that comment's about. You're banned." Like she was. That's all they said. "Wow, Sarah, you look very Jewish today." Anyway, she's doing a show called Shenks. It's all weed, dude. Like we smoke weed, and we interview people and talk about weed. Comedians, man, just talking about weed. This show. This would have been hacked 10 years ago.
This is, again, weed culture is the worst. When would Cheech and Chong come out? In the 70s, right? Am I correct by saying Cheech and Chong were the 70s?
I think so.
Okay. Why are we still doing that kind of humor? I don't understand. Is there a market for this?
Hey, remember, hey, Dave's not here, man. Because he's so high that he doesn't know it's Dave on the other side of the...
Yeah, I know.
The bit is that he was so hot.
I got the bit, man. This is Doug
Jim
Benson.
Edwards calling her Psych Ward Shank.
Okay, so this is another just one of these pre-manufactured comics that they're trying to push on us. Like you know, they do that from time to time. Comedy Central will specifically, everyone does it, but Comedy Central has been the king at this, where they'll just grab someone and they'll be like, I mean, she's mildly attractive and she smokes weed. Can we make something out of it? Look, guys, we're never going to get the Chappelle Show back. Key and Peele are gone. So we have to fill our time somehow. So let's just find one of these generic bitches, throw them on here with Doug Benson, who, look, man, 4,600 views.
Well, you understand that LA is now taking over comedy.
Oh, yeah.
And most comics now that they're pushing on us are either thoughts, who like, that spend most of their time on Instagram posting thought photos with like wacky captions. And it's like, she's a comedian. Or it's aging like 45-year-old wiggers that are still trying to pretend to be into like new culture. And it's like, you're an old comedian. Stop. Like it's either dudes trying to be cool or chicks being thoughts, neither of which is funny. Hollywood is like a mind virus, just ruined comedy.
Yeah, watch Broad City if you don't think comedy's dead. All right, sorry, let's play this. So there's a Rorschach test for stoners featuring Doug Benson. Shenks for smoking.
This looks like something you'd never want a doctor to be like tapping on, telling you about.
Welcome to Shenks for Smoking, the most whimsical weed show on the internet.
First of all, the most what weed show?
Whimsical.
The most what?
Whimsical. Owen would love this.
That's our thing. Whimsy is our thing.
Whimsical weed show on the internet. Today, I'm super excited to introduce our guest, Cannabis comedian and my good friend. You'll recognize
Imagine
him
being known as
Look, we're pausing a lot
comedian.
here. Yeah, sorry, we're going to be pausing a lot here. Cannabis Comedian?
Literally any non-hack would go, it's just comedian.
It's just comedian, please. Thank you.
It's just comedian.
Do you know what that's like saying? That's like saying, and a famous black comedian, Kevin Hart's joining me.
Imagine that.
No, but that's what that is, right?
Or no, if you pulled that shit on him or like Dave Chappelle, they would be like, yeah, I'm just a comedian.
I'm just a comic.
I'm just a comedian. You don't have to. The other part. Really
no adjectives, please.
Yeah, like I can do any comedy. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Doug loves movies and getting Doug with high. Doug Benson, everybody.
Hello. Yes, you'll recognize me from my audio podcast.
Yay! It's time for our weed wheel.
I'm so excited to spin the wheel.
I'm so excited. Your hand is resting on there.
It's just noise, right? Now, first of all, we can agree here, right? The chemistry is outrageous. It's through the roof.
Yeah, these guys, maybe it'll be a permanent thing, because they're so good together.
That yay was one of the, you should never hit a woman. I want to say that, right?
Oh, boy.
But that noise really made me want to hit a woman. I don't know. It was just the noise. I'm not saying to hit people, but just that noise.
If my dryer made that noise, I'd replace it.
Or hit it. What I'm
Or
saying
hit it.
is
Yeah,
that
bang it.
noise,
Yeah.
if that noise went on for another 2.5 seconds, in IRL, I would have had to have hit her. Stop.
Why is she dressed like Cowboy Curtis from Pee Wee Herman?
What a great reference.
Right?
What an amazing Lawrence Fishburne reference.
Yeah, fucking come on, man.
Cowboy Curtis.
Yeah.
There's
the
no,
anticipation.
there's no options on here.
She's
that
dressed
I
like
just,
Lil
that I
Nas
wouldn't want.
X.
Gay? You think he's sick of doing Old Town Road yet?
Hang
No
on.
options on-
Hang on. Let's hear what Jew Jarrett has to say.
Oh, it's not.
There's
the
no.
anticipation.
Listen
there's
here,
no-
slap nuts. I'm here to smoke weed on the internet.
options on here that I wouldn't want right now.
That's why you're the perfect guest. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Let's see.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness, that was broke it. I'm so
Say yes
excited.
more. By the way,
Yes.
neither one of these two want to be there.
No, of course not. This is a paycheck. That's all this is. This is a paycheck. And the other thing that Doug is very revealing goes, my audio only podcast. Why are you still doing an audio only podcast, Doug? Everybody's moved over, right, to video. Like
Because
everybody.
nobody wants to look at Doug Benson.
Nobody wants to look at Anthony Cumia, and he's doing great.
Come on, Apple.
Yay! Apple!
Here it comes, straight from the ocean.
Remember, this guy says that you need to be kinder and a more gentler comedian. Cannabis comedian, Doug Benson.
That's
How
right.
you doing?
Hello, hey guys.
This is Carl.
He matches the room.
Doesn't he?
Yeah, he really fits into this room.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
It's an organic
It's so
apple.
wacky, dude. This whole show is so... I'm laughing on the inside hard. Like I'm laughing. Because I relate to this, because I'm like, weed, dude.
Yeah,
Weed's so
I know,
cool.
it's crazy because when you smoke weed, you become functionally retarded, apparently. But you notice that? Like,
No, that's just when you move to Los Angeles.
you're right. No, but these cannabis comedians, these weed shows, they're still treating weed like you go, oh man, dude, where's my car? That's not really what happens, man.
And Bobby Blackbeard says there's no real enthusiasm. It's just yelling and annoying. If you notice, right, with this and with like Vice and with like Vox and a lot of this new media and these new comics, everything is taken on like the aesthetic and the vibe of a children's show, right? Like they're
Yeah.
treating us like children now. Everything is bright colors and a lot of yelling and a lot of noises and moving things.
It
But
looks like
nobody's
Zoe-
actually, but like Dave Chappelle goes up and he tells jokes for an hour and everybody loses their fucking minds.
Yeah.
Like the Joker is loose and he's blowing up ships full of people. It's insane to me.
Oh, you asked me yesterday, Dave Chappelle, somebody had an answer why he's wearing the jumpsuit. His character in Half Baked was a janitor, and he was wearing a jumpsuit.
Okay,
So that's what, it wasn't out of nowhere, apparently. Apparently, he's done it before. He just wears a jumpsuit because he's like, it's easier.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But
And
like you get my point, right?
Yeah.
It's all like this is to adults, but it's like, ah, we have no chemistry or jokes, but yeah, let's smoke weed. Woo, woo, woo. Let's do this. Let's spin a wheel. Let's make some noise. Let's move here because we got nothing But Dave Chappelle goes up there and he's like, "Man, trannies,
You're right.
getting out of
It's
control
like
now."
it's like shaking keys in front of a kid is what this is. This looks like they're doing the show from Zoe Deschanel's apartment, presumably.
Okay.
Thanks, Carl.
Is there such a thing as inorganic apples?
Yeah.
Get it? No, seriously, I don't get it. I'm asking.
Ones that are made through devious means?
GMO apples.
Are they making this? Are they making a pipe out of an apple to
Dude, that's
smoke weed?
illegal. You choose these
First off, you're in LA, so all the weed there's legal, and you can walk in anywhere you want and get a pipe. Like it's this. There's no need for this. You're in your 40s, Doug.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever made a piece out of or a pipe out of?
Well, I just do apples. I don't really try other things. Every once in a while, some fool says, you know, you can do an orange if you freeze it first. Hang on, everybody. I'm going to freeze an orange for a few hours.
I love that you're just going with a classic Bic pen for this.
Well, you know, that's the thing is when I'm on the road, every hotel has pens and apples.
What is the worst gift you've ever?
Yeah, and every place you go has gas stations with rolling papers. You know, like this. You're.
By the way, this is a lie. He uses a pipe.
Of course he
It's
does.
A lie. It's
Yeah.
The whole thing is just, I use apples because I'm quirky, dude. I'm like an artistic weirdo.
Received?
I'd probably say the gift of life.
The gift of life?
Yeah, I wish I wasn't born.
What's your least favorite holiday?
Ooh.
Not Hanukkah.
So again, another desperate attempt by an aging woman to cling to comedy and do a show where they talk about weed. Like everything about this is derivative. We're going to bring in another comedian, right? We're going to set this whole thing up weed-based, and then I'm just going to ask random questions nobody cares. Like we're on speed dating, and none of this matters. Nobody cares. There's no consequence. There's nothing. There's nothing. There's no substance to this.
Well, it is like speed dating, but at the end, we're the only ones that get fucked.
There's only a couple of good ones.
Right?
Most of them are bullshit. I'm going to get controversial.
I was hoping you would.
I'm going Thanksgiving.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, why?
This last year, anybody I know that has a family had a miserable Thanksgiving because of
Do you have a family, Doug?
political discussion at the table. This is ready to go, by the way.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you get the fresh.
You're already smoking weed.
Smoking
you need
more
to smoke
weed.
more weed?
They got to smoke some weed while they smoke weed, Royce. God, you're so stupid.
This is so fucking
Royce is so-
cringe.
Royce is- you
this
know what you
is
are?
so cringe.
Can I be honest with you, man? You're kind of a square, dude.
Am I a narc?
You're fucking, you're not cool. You're not cool. These guys are cool, man. They get to like.
Mike, at the end of this, I might just quit smoking weed altogether just because this makes me so mad.
I won't.
No, you-
This makes me need to smoke more.
More,
weed.
yeah, that's a good point.
That's just not go. Hey, check out the show where me and Royce smoke weed, dude. It's like
And
retarded.
by the way, if we smoked weed on the air the entire show, we'd probably get an adult rating on our show. Unlike, you know what I mean? They would hit us with something.
Yeah, they would. No, they would probably hit us with a strike.
Yeah.
For using drugs on the air because they just don't.
Can't even vape on Mixer.
You get the
You're
first.
the
You're the
host.
guest. You're my guest.
Host.
Guest.
Host.
Okay, I'll go first just so that we don't have to
You get-
continue the back and forth.
You get
Yeah, because you guys have had no back and forth this entire time.
greens, as we like to say.
Yes. Is there a carb?
No, but you know what? You can put a carb
Just
into
right
those,
down
but
here.
I find it unnecessary.
All right.
Yeah. You know, eventually it starts to get gross. And by eventually, I mean, a few hours.
Pretty immediately. I think it's
What was funny about that? Why was she laughing at that? What was funny about that?
That was what we call a nervous laugh when you
okay.
know that your segment and your show and this whole thing is going nowhere, and you're like,
time for us to bring out Carl. Carl!
just a
On my way.
squeaky Jewish
you.
girl with a vocal fry. I hate her.
But what's happened to Comedy Central, just like in the past, 10 years, has been really sad. I was thinking about this. Comedy Central used to have the Chappelle Show, Key and Peele, Reno 911. You know what I mean? It used to have good, legitimately funny shows when they just when nobody cared about Comedy Central and it was still Penn Jillette doing the voiceovers for it. And they were like, I don't know, man, just do whatever you want. We don't care. No one's watching anyway.
It eventually became too big for its britches.
I think
it
that's
became
what
a
it is.
powerhouse, and it's
Yeah.
we're a network now. But it was fucking, dude. Everything I watched was on Comedy Central at one point.
Yeah. And they used to have good shows.
That's the thing about when your fin is tight like that.
Yeah, it gets me a
Hard to
little.
walk quickly.
little limited, but in the ocean, you should see me. I'm almost like a fish. So today we got Rorschach tests. They're like Rorschach, but they're vape clouds. So they're
Huh? So no, Royce,
Why
don't
did you
get me.
do this, man? I don't want to have a bad day.
So because it's Sara Weinshenk.
No, I got it.
Rorschach
I got
on
it.
the Shenks for smoking.
I wish Rorschach would walk in there and start breaking fingers.
I wish I was in jail getting shanked.
Yeah.
Rorschach tests. You can tell a lot about a person by what they see in the Rorschach.
Could you come back and tell us what you've discovered about us?
I would love to.
You guys are fucking terrible. I'll tell you right now.
All right.
Yeah, we'll just call him out.
Yeah.
Do you want me to give you a card first? All right. Whoa.
I mean, I guess I kind of see that it might be like a ghost robot.
A ghost robot?
Yeah, like here's the eyes and the mouth, and it's it's open.
So they're just riffing. They're riffing on. They're good. Like you could just they can improv like bop 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 riffing, riff.
It's it's weird, man, because they're cutting down these guys. Going to go back to Chappelle. They're cutting down Chappelle. They're cutting down Louis C.K. All the ones that are still coming in and just cracking the ball out of the park, and then they're being replaced by all these people that they don't even want to be there.
No.
You're
right.
This is misery to me. These are two miserable people.
Yeah, none of these people are happy.
And well, Sara Weinshenk is known to be a miserable bitch. Like,
Really?
She's just like she's just again. And another one lately, like we talk about Sarah Silverman. All these LA comics are so miserable, and it shows now. They're not having fun anymore. Like Dave Chappelle, say what you want, he was having fun up there. Louis C.K., when he finally got back up on stage, was having fun again. These people are not enjoying. They just want fame and money. They don't actually want to do the thing, the art.
You know what I think Comedy Central hasn't thought of with this new network, since it's so small and it's not getting a lot of views? If somebody were to, because like for example, this video has 242 upvotes and now 20 downvotes. If somebody were to, I don't know, like look, hey Mike, you know what I'm gonna do for you so you don't lose it? I'm gonna post a link to this video in our chat. Just easier for me, right?
Of course.
And if you want to, like, later, maybe upvote it down. But to be fair, obviously, we're going to be fair here. Maybe leave a little comment. 242 upvotes. That seems like a lot. That seems like a lot.
But now, because it's angry and it's got the ability to make itself invisible. What do you think?
I'm
What?
seeing
It's really funny, dude.
boobs. Is that like
These are
does that
boobs
mean
right
I'm
here?
perverted?
This is like cleave. This is a whole
Yeah,
cleave
cleave.
situation, right?
Right?
And then this is the neck,
Yeah,
and that's
this is
the bottom of the head.
collarbone.
Wait,
Danny Saint. It's hard to have fun because of who the president is, guys. It's right. But that's the other
What it
thing,
is.
too. All of these people are these, all of their joke, Doug Benson, everybody on Comedy Central is basically drumpity drumph. That's all their humor. That's all their humor is now. There's an entire generation of comics that are never going to be funny because, number one, they're not going to be allowed to, right? If you want to be in these circles, if you want to be in this LA circle jerk or be at the new Cellar table, which would just be a fucking high chair now compared to the legends that used to sit there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're never going to be this is not, and I always say this is not a sustainable thing. All these new comics are building their careers on things that aren't sustainable. You can't be weed comic your whole life. Look at Doug Benson. It's sad. It's sad to be a Doug Benson in 2019. It's not something I wouldn't even go, hey, man, I met Doug Benson. I wouldn't care. I'd be like, I don't care. I'm going to tell you that I met Doug Benson. Who gives a shit?
Doug Benson could be sitting across from this table and I wouldn't care.
No. Weed comedy.
I would have to power through that interview.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? We would have to really be like, we're not making this a full hour one, right? Now we're going to go, 20 minutes?
Like those times we cut our interview short because we're like, this isn't
20
working.
minutes.
But then, or they'll build their career on hating Donald Trump. Look, realistically speaking, Trump's, for you guys, at best, going to be president 1 more year. At worst, 5 more years, right? But after that, what are you going to build your career on? Like, you can't build it on fleeting things like Trump is Trump is bad. Like, you can't build it on that. It's not sustainable. But there's an entire generation of comedians, not only now, but that are coming up, that it's just either weed. Like, I'm sure you have friends too. I have New York comic, open mic comics friends. That their pictures are either of how fucking a terrible meme about how terrible Drumpf is, or pictures of their fat nugs. They're, hey man, look at this weed. Look at this. Look how good this nug. Like, That's not something you could build in. You have to actually have talent. You have to be insightful. You know,
everything is weed or hef or Trump, like you said. It's the old what Sam Hyde said about like female comics. It's all like my fucking pussy farts and my I fucking suck my stepdad's dick. Fucking,
you're right.
Like there's no, and then again you have a guy like Chappelle go up, and I'll agree that Chappelle's special was not an A+ special. It wasn't. It was great. It was good, but it was not an A+. It was not a. People aren't going to look back at Sticks and Stones like the way they look at like fucking Class Clown by George Carlin. You know what I mean? Like it was a great special, but it was on par for Dave Chappelle. But it's for in today's culture, it's an A+ special.
I think that's
because
what you have to rate it on.
He's
It's
just
what it's
the
in.
only one doing comedy. It's like him and Louis and a handful.
And
of others.
Louis is not even really. Do you think Louis is going to get another special? He's not. Louis C.K. is not getting another HBO special. It's not going to happen. You guys, Louis is still going to look. Louis is going to be fine for the rest of his life. Louis will probably start getting writing gigs again because he doesn't have to be in front. But Louis is not going to. Louis can't do his. Louis now goes to does stand up and he doesn't even announce that he's going, and there's still people that track him down to like yell at him in the audience,
Yeah.
right? So what they did to Louis, I think, is almost unforgivable. Like I think Louis C.K. was on par where his trajectory was, because he was huge, but his trajectory was going where he would have been a legend. I think he would have been a Carlin. He would have been.
I think he still will be to certain people.
Right, but to certain people, but not like mass appeal like they had, for example, right? Because he's not allowed to. Like, I think Louis C.K. was, and somebody called him this, and I thought it was a good idea. Louis C.K. was like a secular prophet. Like, he was really good at analyzing what the fuck was going on in the world and like boiling it down to its core. Like his Louis C.K.'s last special was probably his best. Like, I think so. I don't think that he'll ever come back and be that. I want him to, don't get me wrong. I don't think he'll be allowed to. I don't think he will be allowed to. And trust me, like you were talking about the other day, they're digging stuff on Chappelle too to let him not come back.
Yeah, that's just, again, we got to cancel everybody. But
Yep.
that's why, and the thing I liked about Louis too is that despite the fact that they're trying to destroy him over these allegations, and then the fact that he's, he is a lefty, he's a liberal,
Yeah.
but he's one of those old school guys that he's actually not a complete narcissist, and he's like honest, and he has some morals. So his comedy comes from a place of like what is wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like pointing out shitty things. And I enjoyed him, and whatever, dude. It's again the Sarah Silvermans of the world, who helped to foster that environment with Louis. He jerked off in front of Sarah Silverman like a bunch of times. Like,
Oh, she said it herself. Yeah, and she said she was fine with it.
So you all helped foster that environment, and you couldn't wait to cut him down when it became time.
Yeah, to take him down, and they didn't want it. They didn't want it because first off, the biggest comic in the world has to now be a lesbian woman. Like, the optics of it look bad.
Might have been raped.
You might have been raped. You can't have, like, that's the problem, man. Dudes are just better at most things. We were talking about sports, right? Dudes, I'm not saying there's not funny female comics. There are. But if you look at a graph, statistically, dudes are better comics, right? Like, they just are. Just are.
There's 3 Sara Weinshenks at least for every 1 Maria Bamford, and that's an easy statistic.
That's a good. I like that. That's a good comparison because there is some good female comics. I'm not one of those guys who goes, "Oh, females." No, there's some females that are fucking really funny.
And then there's a lot of chicks that are like low key hilarious, and they work behind the scenes writing a lot, like that Weigel chick from Reno 911.
Yes, she's fucking great.
Kathy Kinney, I think her name is. She's fun. What's her face?
The chick from Workaholics is really funny.
She's funny, but like I don't know if she's a big writer.
She does. She's a big writer.
But what's her face? Tina Fey.
Tina Fey's
Fey,
funny.
who, by the way, lefty, whatever, but like really, she has stayed far away from all that woke bullshit.
She's the one that they wanted her to apologize for something, and she was one of the few that I still give her credit to this day where she goes, "I'm not going to apologize." She goes, "If I apologize for this, I'm going to be apologizing forever." And she just wouldn't do it, and that's why you never say sorry. You never apologize. I'm not. Sarah Silverman, when she was writing for SNL, was a funny writer. You can't say she's not. Sarah Silverman was a writer for SNL, and she worked with when Norm was there. She worked with Sandler, Farley.
All these people went to Hollywood. They all got everything they wanted: pot, fucking plastic surgery, money. They got everything they desired, and they're all profoundly unhappy people.
Of course.
And now they're all using their platforms to project their misery outward to the rest of America. And it shows, which is why shit like this isn't funny. All of these people have therapists and medication, and they're miserable, and they hate themselves, and they hate the country, and they hate everyone around them. And some of them are white and self-hating. It's like the weirdest shit.
I think the worst part about it is that, comics that make it, like Sarah Silverman is actively trying to destroy the new Sarah Silvermans that are coming up. That's the stuff where I get upset. Like that's where I get really mad. It's like, look, man, if you want to become a woke comic, whatever, man, be a woke comic. I don't give a fuck. I'll make fun of you, but I don't care. But when you make it being cringy, doing AIDS jokes and all these fucking rape jokes like Sarah Silverman did, and now she is making an environment where you can't have another young Sarah Silverman come up. You'll never have another Chappelle. It won't happen. It won't be allowed to happen. You have to be a black woke comic. You'll never have another Louis C.K. I mean, unless there's some sort of weird, drastic changes in comedy, I don't know what it would take for that to happen. You're not going to have them anymore because, to me, the biggest sin of these people is not that they're woke now, it's not all the Trump jokes, it's not all them jerking each other off. The biggest sin, and I know I sound like a broken record, is they always close the door behind them. Mm-hmm. That's what enrages me. You guys come up, and you guys were the edgy comics, man. You guys were the one hanging out with Norton when he had his balls out and everybody's laughing. And now if somebody did that, they'd be sexual assault. He took his testicles out in front of me. And I'm just a fair-weathered comic, and I can't stand it. Like, they close their door behind them. They say, you're not allowed to be funny. You're not allowed to do this anymore. I don't give a shit if I came up like this. Society has changed, and nobody else can do it. And that, to me, is the gravest sin of all with these fucking comics. The fucking humor that built Comedy Central, they're actively destroying it.
Yeah.
They're actively destroying it.
They can't replay any of their early shit now.
No,
they have a worthless tape library that they can't have.
The
anymore.
only place you could watch Reno, you can't watch, like all the old shows on Comedy Central, you could usually watch them on their website. You can't watch old Reno on their website. You can't watch any of that stuff because it's something that is not allowed. And to me, and to me, I've always said
get up to $3,000 for a baby, even if it's Chinese.
Dude, it's so good.
You
wouldn't leave a high-end radio in your car. Why are you going to leave a kid? It was so good.
Great. I like the one where they had the HR person come in and they were all using racial slurs for like an entire scene. It was just getting bleeped the entire time. Dude. And they were using it so matter of fact. What if I say bleep and then because sometimes you pull over a black guy and it's like bleep. It's like, or like these, these Hispanics, sometimes you say like bleep or bleep and they were just bleeping out everything, but they were saying it in the scenes. I remember the DVD having the words. They were saying the words.
Yeah, I know. If you watch, actually the streams where I get it from too are from the DVDs, so they're all uncensored. And yeah, they were actually saying the words. They weren't like mouthing it. They were actually saying it because it was fucking funny. Look, here, for example, I always say this.
What if someone says, which nigger took the last donut?
That would be wild.
That's wildly inappropriate.
That was a Comedy Central.
I have that memorized for 10 years now because the first time I ever saw that scene, I couldn't get out of my head Dangle's react. It was
wildly
etched in
inappropriate.
that would be wildly inappropriate.
You can't do that. Okay, that's what Comedy Central used to have.
So calmly he answers it. That would be wild.
Let's see what they have now.
Hey, this is supposed to be yours, not mine.
I see nothing
We're
but
not supposed to
titties on
both
this
figure
one.
it out.
Yeah, because hey, dude, you know what makes girls cool too? When they like titties.
Bye-bye, boobies.
It's all thoughts. It's
Oh,
just thoughts
dang.
And they're
weed and
notice they're
yeah.
jump cutting this too. There's a lot of jump cuts. So this is the
good
best.
stuff.
Exactly.
This is the good stuff.
This is the cream of
this
the crop.
was the choice nugs that they pulled out of this segment. They filmed for an hour. They got a 5-minute and 29-second video of shit.
Terrible. This is. Really,
I want to
really
see
bad.
what got cut out.
No, I don't. Are you kidding me?
Damn.
This looks like something you'd never want a doctor to be like tapping on, telling
Didn't we
you
already
about.
do this?
Well, they do, all the YouTube
Oh,
videos
they
now
flash
do this.
forward it? Okay.
I hate that, by the way. Stop doing that on YouTube.
Yeah.
Stop doing that. I hate when people do that.
And so yeah, it's like, and the mass has spread.
It's not, the news is not all bad. There's a couple of spots where you're cancer free.
I think we're ready maybe for a snack.
Okay.
Carl!
Yo, hello. Today you have a variety of jerk beef.
It's really nice that H3 showed up to do this for them. Like, give him a push. I mean, they dress like a mermaid, I guess.
Does
but
look like him.
doesn't he? Yeah.
Can I just promote my Teddy Fresh really quick? It's fucking just disturbing to look at, man.
Sausage sticks.
Venison, wild boar,
It's all organic, except for the plastic.
elk. What would a merman eat?
Well, we usually come on land for venison. We like to hunt deer. Wild boar, we don't like it because some of us are kosher and halal.
Here,
venison.
try a piece.
I think a lot of you mermen are kosher and halal. Mostly kosher.
Take a bite of venison.
We want to see how that goes for you.
How it smells.
It tastes just like a deer.
Oh. I'm going to try the elk.
Why is it
Bourbon
funny?
black.
It's not. I mean, the answer to you is not. But again, you have to uncomfortably laugh. Because if you don't, the dead air eats your soul.
It is unbelievable to me how they just keep cranking this shit out, and it's show after show after show of, as I said earlier, profoundly unhappy people going.
You know,
We should do a whole show like that one day. Just try to do a whole ROTC.